Hey, it's me. Let's talk about meditation. Not just the kind where you sit still and try to quiet your thoughts. Not just chanting mantras or visualizing light. I mean, meditation as a deep, living dialogue with yourself. A way to bring your whole being into alignment. To really understand this kind of meditation, we have to recognize that you aren't just one thing. You're made up of many layers. And for meditation to truly transform you, it needs to engage all three key parts of your inner world. One is your conscious self, the part that makes choices, sets goals, and reflects. Two is your unconscious, wounded child, the part that feels entitled, afraid, angry, or ashamed, often without you realizing it. And three, your higher self, the vast, loving intelligence within you that holds clarity, peace, and truth. True meditation is about creating an ongoing connection between these three parts. It's not about escaping your problems. It's about shining light on them so that they can be understood, healed, and transformed. The conscious self needs to take the lead. It needs to say, I want to see what's inside me, even the parts I don't like, even the parts I've tried to hide. That's the beginning of real freedom. See, a lot of us carry this fear that if we truly see the darker parts of ourselves, the selfishness, the anger, the jealousy, the spite, we'll be consumed by them. So we keep pretending they're not there. We perform, we act like we're better, more evolved, more loving than we actually are. But the unconscious knows the truth. And when that truth is denied, it doesn't go away. It just comes out sideways in conflict and illness and shame and subtle self sabotage. So, the first invitation is this: let that unconscious child speak. Let it be seen, not judged, not fixed, just seen. In specific ways, in real life moments, especially where you feel stuck or triggered. So you might ask yourself in meditation, what am I avoiding seeing in myself right now? What role am I playing in this situation? Where am I blaming others instead of owning my part? The second direction of meditation is toward the higher self. This is the part of you that transcends ego, that holds infinite love and wisdom. You can call upon this inner light to help you see what your ego resists, to help you understand without exaggerating, to hold your inner child in clarity, not with shame, not with over identification, but with gentle truth. Because here's what can happen. Once you finally see the wounded child within, there's a risk of swinging to the other extreme. I'm terrible, you might think. This is all I am. When that's not true either. You're not just your pain, you're not just your fear, and you're not just your mistakes. When you invite your higher self into the process, you begin to see the full picture. You can explore where those destructive patterns came from. You can begin to understand the roots, what beliefs shaped them, what pain gave rise to them, and what false rewards they once offered. And then this brings us to the third part of the meditation process: re-education. Once you've revealed the inner child and understood its roots, Now you gently start to guide it. You become the wise inner parent you never had. You show this child that it no longer has to fight or hide or sabotage to stay safe. You help it grow up. This work isn't linear. It's not step one, then two, then three. It flows. Some days you're uncovering new aspects of your shadow. Other days you're guiding it with compassion. Other days you're simply waiting in stillness, trusting the higher wisdom to move in its own time. And yes, it takes time. It takes honesty, patience, and care. But when you do this inner work consistently, your whole being starts to shift. You begin to feel more grounded, more accepting of who you are. The self hate and the grandiose expectations both begin to melt away. The ego softens, and you stop needing to prove or perform. You just are. And in that space, the power of your true self begins to flow through you. That's when meditation becomes more than a practice. It becomes a way of being. It brings the three parts of your inner world into harmony. The conscious self becomes strong and present. The wounded child becomes known and loved. The higher self becomes real and felt. Many people miss this, though. They meditate only to connect with the light, the calm, the divine. And that's beautiful, absolutely. But if you skip over your shadow, your inner child remains frozen. And even your connection to the divine becomes imbalanced, used to escape rather than integrate. So, your job as a conscious ego is to stay engaged. Keep reaching toward the light and down into the dark. Keep dialoguing with both the higher self and the hurt inner self. Keep noticing where you resist, where you want to rush, or where you still say, I don't want to change. And yes, those voices are there. You might not want to heal, not really. Part of you might cling to the old patterns, the comfort of the familiar, even if it's painful. But don't shame that part. Listen to it. Let it speak. Let it be part of the conversation. Because when all three parts, ego, child, and spirit, are in dialogue, real transformation happens. This threefold meditation is not about control. It's about relationship. Relationship with all of who you are. And in that relationship, you find power, peace, and possibility. Consider starting each meditation by asking, what am I truly feeling right now? What part of me is unresolved? Where do I need to open, see, forgive, or shift? And then you wait. You listen. You invite truth without forcing. You allow your inner world to unfold. You hold space for the chaos, the clarity, the contraction, and the expansion. You learn to trust the rhythm of your own becoming. And over time, something magical happens. The paradoxes that once confused you desire and desirelessness, involvement and detachment, activity and surrender, they begin to make sense. Not as either or choices, but as sacred balances. You can desire deeply and still trust the timing. You can be involved in life and still remain centered. You can act with purpose and rest in stillness. This is the essence of mature spirituality. This is what real meditation opens you to. And it's available to you right now. Love you. Connect soon.